Hey, Helen.
Hey, what?
We're back to reality. Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys.
After a semi-long absence, CJ and Helen Haddock.
Did you miss us?
Did you miss us? The Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast is back on the air. We are back from a brief vacation, which was heaven. We are now in the midst of hell, which is moving our home and the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast studios. But we're dedicated to bring you quality entertainment in the form of our banter.
You sound like one of those PBS call-a-thons.
That's correct. Please call in now.
The one in Pittsburgh used to be 412-621-5808 for continued programming. I know, because my dad was a PBS junkie.
Send some emails, folks, to painangercomedy@gmail.com. That's our email address. We're on Twitter. Twitter handle is @painangercomedy. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, download episodes there, and also rate us and write a review. You can get episodes directly from our website, painangercomedy.wordpress.com. We are on SoundCloud now and YouTube, both at Pain Anger Comedy. Stay tuned. The nonsense begins in a minute. All right, man.
There used to be a song that started out singing "Back to Life, Back to Reality."
That's right.
That's what we are.
Yes, we are. And not happy about it.
No. This was my first week back to work in 6 weeks after surgery and vacation. You know, great to be back at work. Great to be doing what I love to do. And for you, it was also back to work after our lovely little vacation. And now we're...
Yep.
Now we're...
Nobody wants to hear about your job, Helen, or my job.
I know. We're in the
They
midst
want to be
of
entertained.
Packing hell.
And we'll get to that. I'm trying to debate whether to go into the moving first or the vacation.
Oh, gosh. Both things have so many little branches you could go off of. It's
I
not
know.
even funny.
I know. Well, let's go with happiness first. Let's go with the vacation.
Oh, it was lovely.
We just spent a week on a cruise ship in the Southern Caribbean Sea.
It was delightful.
We're not bragging.
No.
But it was very relaxing. We did, however, not do any excursions, but we did walk 20 miles in 4 days in the middle of the cruise. Every time the cruise would stop at somewhere, we would get off and walk around.
So here's the deal, though, because, before we went, this was my first cruise, and... before we went on this cruise, you were driving me insane.
That's right.
What excursion are we going to do at this port? And what are we going to do here? And I was just like, dude, I just want to go and relax. I do not want to be running around from place to place and following somebody else's timeline.
Ah, you got to do shit, don't you?
No, you don't. And, I think I kind of opened your eyes this time that you can actually go on a cruise.
Yes.
Get off the boat.
That's right.
See the island or wherever it is, the port that you're at, walk around, and you yourself admitted that you had been on cruises before.
I have.
And this is the first cruise that you've ever been on that you've actually been to the islands.
You actually experienced some stuff, some people, some smells, some aromas.
That's how you figure things out. You
some
walk,
sights,
you
some
see,
sounds.
you look. You went into, I think it was in Aruba, you went into the courthouse.
That's right, I did. I saw a Dutch courthouse in, was that Aruba? Yeah, that was Aruba.
Yeah, so...
Can you name the 4 places we went, Helen?
St. Martin.
Yep.
Aruba.
Yep.
Curacao.
That's correct.
And Bonaire.
Oh, man, you nailed it. That's where we went. In reverse order, that's where we went. Mm-hmm. And we ended up doing a lot of walking.
We did, which was great because for us, we did a lot of drinking. We don't drink.
Yes.
We're kind of losers in that way.
We didn't do a lot of drinking. You mean just drinking liquids or?
No, we did. I mean, we never drink, and we drank at least a drink a day.
Yeah, we had 1 drink a day. That's a lot of drinking.
For us, it is.
Have you met my family?
For us, it is. I mean, at one point
Have you met my father?
we were drinking. I like.
Have you met my brother Rick?
Shush. I like margaritas, and you were drinking pina coladas, which I find amusing because you're like the manliest man, and you're drinking these little fruity drinks.
I love them. I love them.
And, you know, at some point, you know, they got to be a little too alcohol heavy.
That's a change too. Are you insane? We had one drink a day.
Dude. And yeah, and we were both buzzing about it.
You're making it sound like we were drunk the whole time.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but I guess for us,
a lot of drinking. Do you remember those margarita looking things that were in the little cocktail glasses?
Yeah.
That was like 95% liquor, that we didn't want to offend anybody, so we poured in empty glasses to make it look like we drank them.
Yeah. Sometimes you order a drink, you think it's going to be good, and then it sucks. So
it was like somebody took an anvil and gonged it on our heads because it was such heavy alcohol.
I mean, we did some. I mean, we had a drink a day after we walked 3 or 4 miles.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and hung out by the pool.
Lovely.
On a boat.
On a boat.
A pool on a boat.
On a boat.
There's an ice rink on the boat also.
Yeah, well, we didn't go to that, but we just kind of chilled.
But it's there.
It's so easy to get fat on a cruise.
Yes, it is. That's for sure. But, you know, walking around like we did, to the point where I actually almost could not walk on the 4th day.
I have to share a story because the first day we went out on our little walking tours, and you know, we kind of were doing our own thing, and I was like, oh, let's go over here, oh, let's walk over here, oh, let's walk over there. Now, you know, I had on like flip-flops, and my dear sweet husband had, you know, his sneakers on, and he's got, you know, got everything sort of wrapped up, and I was like, okay, so
wrapped up.
Then second day, I could tell he was lagging a little bit. Third day, he's like, so Helen, but you know, 3/4 of the way through the walk, anything hurting? Now I have some sore hips every once in a while, and he's like, your hips hurting? I was like, no, why? He's like, is your back hurting?
Because mine sure as shit are.
5 minutes later, your ankle hurting? I was like, no. Well, my ankle's hurting. I should have taped it up. So he's trying to signal to me that he's ready to go.
I'm trying to get her to stop walking all over the goddamn place.
Wow.
And she won't do it.
I think it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. And
you got some great pictures.
We did get some pictures around day 3 or 4. Like around day 3 of the third day of the walking, I was okay. Like I was feeling good. Then the day 4, day 2 was hard. So was day 4. Mm-hmm. And happily, to much of my relief, you were also hurting on day 4. Not that I want you to be hurting, honey, but it was a lot of walking in those little towns there. Right.
It was great. And then we would go relax by the pool, which we do have to talk about pool etiquette. We should talk about some pool etiquette.
What are we talking about? Banana hammocks?
We should talk about banana hammocks. We should talk about women in bikinis.
Oh, dear.
Like, if your skin is creaky, you shouldn't be in a bikini.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I get women who are very confident in themselves and want to rock it. But like, sister, if your breasts are smaller than your gut, then you shouldn't be in a bikini.
Some of you out there are confident without justification.
Well, I mean, the good Lord gives us some common sense.
Now,
and you should be covering some stuff up.
I can pull off a thong still. Luckily, I have that kind of body where I could still...
It gets eviscerated between the butt cheeks.
I could put on the sharkskin thong and rock that by the pool. And I did several days. But not everybody can.
Yeah, it's just... Or old people making out in the pool.
Oh yeah,
boy, do you remember that? Do you remember there was this weird older couple who like got into the pool, and there was just one other guy in there.
Yeah.
And they started making out, and that dude was like, I'm out. This is way too weird for me. And then they were
that's
done,
right. Yeah,
and he went back in.
Yeah, see, as soon as they got out, he got back in.
Yeah, it was weird. Who does that?
I got to tell you, at one point, there was a lot of beef in that swimming pool.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of beef.
Yeah.
There was a couple of very large men and not small women.
And if your back has as much hair as your front, then you should probably go up to the spa and get some waxing services.
Speaking of spa, Helen.
You got a pedicure.
Why don't we share the pedicure story? My
husband here, Mr. CJ Haddock, makes fun of people who get pedicures, makes fun of men who get pedicures.
That's right.
and thinks they are not manly.
They're not. They're very unmanly.
When his toes look like talons of pterodactyls, it's time for you to get a pedicure. So
I subjected this poor, tiny, diminutive, 4-foot tall, 100-pound Vietnamese pedicurist to what I told her I thought were the worst feet she had ever seen. She claims,
no.
Yeah, she claims they weren't, but I think she's just being nice.
I mean, you shouldn't have felt too bad when she busted out the gas-powered Dremel in order to just file down your talons.
And here's another thing. Pedicures are not supposed to hurt, are they?
They're not supposed to hurt, but when you don't take care of your feet...
Damn. Some of that stuff was hurt. Now, some of it was okay, you know, the soaking and the bathing and the
hot stone and the massaging.
Hot stone massage was great.
She had to clear out 52 years of crust from under your toenails.
I think I had a pedicure on our honeymoon.
You did have a pedicure on our honeymoon, but I wasn't going to call you out on that.
I don't enjoy, I mean, some of it I enjoy. The hot stone massage was good, but the actual maintenance of the claws, I did not enjoy that very much.
I mean, okay, so
all right.
She manicured your toes.
She did.
She rubbed your toes down.
She did.
She hooked you for some tea tree oil that was like $50 a bottle, correct. And you still using it. So obviously she made sense to you.
Well, I got paid $50 for it. I got to use it.
I mean, so I love getting pedicures because, you know, anybody who knows me knows I'm not the girliest of girls, but my nails have to be done and my toes have to be done.
I think you're quite girly, Helen.
I'm not that girly, really. No, I'm not. I'm not the kind of girl that's going to wear a pink flowered dress, and I'm not that girly.
Well, speaking of dresses, honey.
Yes, dear.
We're really flowing from topic to topic.
We are.
Speaking of dresses.
Yeah.
We neglected to remember.
Formal night?
I neglected to inform you of formal night.
Thanks a whole heck of a lot.
Formal night on a cruise ship is something else.
Yeah, well, I felt like a big dodo bird.
We saw guys with tuxedo tops and kilts on.
Dear Jesus.
At least twice. I saw 2 guys wearing kilts.
Medals? Remember the dudes with the medals?
There was one dude who had a tuxedo on and all these medals.
Right.
Like, I don't think they were military either. I think they were fake as shit, is what I think.
Who knows?
So the next time I go on a cruise, Helen, we're going to make me some goddamn medals.
You're going to be Rear Admiral Haddock.
And you're going to call me Admiral the whole trip.
I can't even stand it.
And tuxedo medals.
You have to wear a kilt. You know, true kilt wearing requires no undies underneath.
I understand that. I don't get that at all. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't understand it, but
I don't get it because, and then you got to wear these socks with these tassels on them, very high socks with the tassels on them, and then dress shoes.
Oh yeah.
Where are the bagpipes, bro? Where are the bagpipes?
Listen, I guess it's better than rocking a toga. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. So, with the Pena Coladas, one thing I got to say in my own defense, they taste yummy. And I'm at an age now where I don't feel like I have to be macho guy with a beer anymore.
Well, I feel like, you know, you kind of tried to do that in your younger years.
Yes.
You tried to be the scotch drinking, cigar smoking, Mont Blanc using.
Yeah, can't we just stick to the cruise?
You just kind of were like, screw it. I want to drink pina coladas and get pedicures.
Right.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Wait, you put those two things together. And I did not put them together until just now. And so, pedicures and pina coladas. It's not okay. You just ridiculed me.
Pina coladas. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it. I like when you go get pedicures because guess what? Then I don't have to worry about losing skin when you rub your feet on me in bed.
Yeah, I guess that probably helps.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I didn't put those two things together. That's a very sobering thought about myself. Helen.
I can't see. CJ brought the computers down from his office, so I can't really see his face now. All I can see is the top of his head.
You can't see my eyes?
I can see his from the top. When you sit up higher, I can see. But I can see from his eyebrows up, and I can tell when he's blushing because his forehead is red. So
or when I'm pissed off at you.
I officially made the Haddock angry.
No. That was blushing and embarrassment, realizing I had pedicures and pina coladas on the same cruise.
Listen, embrace your inner self. It's okay to like pina coladas and pedicures.
There's nothing more refreshing after walking 5 miles or 3 miles in hot
with your slave driver
Caribbean
wife.
Climate.
Let's go here. Let's go there.
With my wife who refuses to take my hints about Are your feet hurt?
Anything in your musculature hurting?
Anything hurting? Is something hurting? Please, God, could there something be hurting?
You want me to make something hurt?
God damn it. But after all that work,
yeah,
to sit at the pool then, that's really kind of nice to have a nice, a nice, cool tropical drink.
A nice fruity beverage. I did make you go into Louis Vuitton, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Oh, my God.
Yes, you did.
Can I just say that that's probably every girl's version of walking into, like, I guess the Football Hall of Fame or something?
Those cruise ships, when they stop, I mean, the object for those people in the ports are to suck as much money out of the cruise-going public as possible.
Right. And I think that our cruise was at the end of sort of cruise season. Yeah. So they were really trying to push hard. I mean, Louis Vuitton's not going to be like, hey, buy one, get one free handbags. But, you could kind of tell that they were pushing. It was.
We were in there. We did not buy, though.
No. I drooled, but just, you have to be reasonable about stuff like that. If your handbag's going to cost more than your mortgage, it's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
And you could buy some really cool knockoffs.
Yes, you could. All right. Where the hell were we?
I don't know.
I lost myself. I was thinking about
Pena Coladas and pedicures.
Yeah. In my sharkskin thong.
Yes.
Well, Helen, the cruise ends at some point, right?
It does.
The cruise ends. And what the hell happens there?
Then you come back to reality.
Then you come home.
And
you know what you don't have, honey?
You don't have airport bathrooms.
You don't have, we'll get to that. You don't have stateroom attendants catering to your every whim. You don't have, what else don't you have?
What was his name? Oh, it started with an R.
Renato.
Renato.
We need
to talk about Renato because Renato, he was really great and he was on everything we asked him. I don't think we tried to be at all too particular, but every time he saw us, he would go, Mr. Charles, hi, Mr. Helen. And it was the most loud, sort of very creepy greeting.
It was a little bit weird.
A little bit weird. Then again, to live on a cruise ship for 9 months like that in closed quarters, I think it sucks a little bit of oxygen out of your brain.
Very difficult, I think. There's no stateroom attendants here. There's apparently at our house, no bar or pool.
No.
There are no specialty drinks. Nobody is blending pina coladas.
Nope.
You know what there is here, Helen?
Reality.
Misery. That's what we came home. They say home is where the heart is. Well, right now, home is where misery is because we're in the process of moving, and we'll get to that. We will get to the moving stuff. But we're back, and I did miss being away from you folks out there, including those of you in Qatar, welcoming our president, who we are not talking about this week at all. We're going to try to not talk about the president this week.
We're taking a Trumpcation. That's what we're doing this week. We're taking a Trumpcation.
And really, wouldn't the country entirely like to take a Trumpcation?
See, you're talking about him.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. We're on Trumpcation. Mm-hmm. And when we get back, a couple of things we're going to talk about. I think we still have to talk about a couple of things that happened on the airplane, honey. I know you're chomping at the bit over there.
Oh, boy.
I see you. You can still look at me over the monitors.
I see your eyes.
Okay. Well, that's, you can tell a lot about some person in their eyes.
Right. Their soulless existence.
Yeah. I could stand up also if you'd like.
No, that's cool.
All right. So when we come back, a funny story or two about airplane travel and lots more. I realize I didn't tease anything up front. What are we talking about today?
Listen, you guys are just going to have to listen. There's no teasers. You're just going to have to stay tuned. I'm going to send a little shout out to my BFF in the whole wide world, Maddie. She listened for the first time last week and loves the show.
Thank you for listening.
Love you, Maddie. See you soon. I miss you.
See you soon. Helen is giving me the middle finger over the monitors here in the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast Studios, and that's nice. That's nice, honey. Movement watches. I'm kind of a watch guy, as Helen, I think, has mentioned in the past. The company was started by two broke college kids who wanted to wear stylish watches but couldn't afford them, so they started their own watch company and built a following. Movement watches start at just $95, and at a department store, you're looking at $400 to $500 per watch. Movement figured out that by selling online and cutting out the middleman, they were able to avoid retail markup to provide the best possible price. And Helen, don't we learn a lesson about retail markup on that cruise?
We sure did.
Damn. Classic design, quality construction in these watches, and styled minimalism in an age of maximalism. Over 500,000 watches have been sold in 160 countries. Get 15% off. That's 15% off today with free shipping and returns by going to movementwatches.com. This watch has a clean design. You'll get compliments everywhere you go. Now is the time to set up your watch game. Go to movementwatches.com and enjoy the movement. The Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast returns in a second. Retail markup, honey.
Unbelievable.
Retail markup.
And it's funny because they mark things up so high, and then they look at you and say, but it's duty free, it's tax free. Well, yeah, but you're trying to skin me from this markup.
Let me see. Almost half of all diamond rings are marked up between 25 and 75%. I just read that on smallbusiness.chronology.com.
That's cray-cray.
There you go, 75% markup.
Insanity.
It's like legal thievery, robbery, larceny.
Insanity.
At any rate, kids, one part of the cruise vacation was getting to and from the boat in lovely San Juan, Puerto Rico, and you got to get there unless you can swim. You got to get there by air. And Helen,
yes,
we've got a couple of stories about the air travel.
Oh boy.
Now, I have, 3 pages of notes about about traveling. Now, I know the one you want to tell, Helen. I know the one you want to tell.
And let me just tell everybody that he's a little insane about the podcast. Well, I kind of go through life, I observe things, but I don't write things down, or I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. And he's kind of like, hey, Helen, we got to write this down for the podcast. Hey, Helen, this is the podcast.
In other words, you don't prepare, and you're lazy.
Podcast. I'm not lazy. I observe.
Well, what did you observe on the flight down to San Juan, honey?
That you needed to use the airplane bathroom.
Airplane bathrooms are not big places, ladies and gentlemen. They're not big, and they're not comfortable.
No, and he came out saying, my thighs hurt. I had to go into the bathroom and my thighs hurt. And he came out and I was laughing probably more hysterically than he's ever seen me laugh.
I was attempting to not go to the bathroom on the plane. But somewhere over, I don't know, Miami or Havana, a tremendous urge came over me. And as I told Helen, my seatmate, Helen, I'm going to try to stick this out.
And he's sweating and gritting his teeth.
And finally, for the first time in my life, I went to the bathroom, the real bathroom, on an airplane. Now, Helen, I came back to my seat and you were laughing hysterically. You were laughing so hard that your shoulders were heaving up and down. Helen, I said.
Yes. And you came out of the bathroom?
I came back to my seat, and you were laughing so hard that your shoulders were heaving up and down.
Right.
Why, Helen, pray tell, did you find my misadventure so funny?
Well, because I know you. And for you to reach the point where you went into the bathroom and actually did what you did, in public, first of all.
Right.
On an airplane, second of all. And for me to listen to how many times that little airplane toilet flushed, with every flush, my laughter increased exponentially. I wasn't surprised that the airline stewardess didn't come over and ask me if I wasn't having a meltdown at that moment.
That's good. And my sweats had turned into cold sweats at that point. Mm-hmm. Because in order to do what you need to do in an airplane bathroom, there's a lot of work required. Let me just leave it at that. Actually, when I said, Helen, what's so funny?
I couldn't stop laughing.
You didn't answer my question for about 3 minutes.
Well, I could not stop laughing because I know how difficult it is for you to do things.
Let me ask you, was it the number of flushes that made you laugh?
It was everything. It was the look on your face when you came out looking like somebody had shot your dog because you just, had a moment in an airplane bathroom.
Like you said, it does take a lot for me to take that step.
Right, Johnny Four Flush.
Airports, Helen. It never ceases to amaze what kind of things we see in airports. And I've got a bunch of stuff in airports. So let me just lead you through it.
Okay.
All right, Helen. First thing, I don't know if you saw this, but I saw, maybe it was on a commercial. I can't remember now whether it was a commercial, whether I actually saw it. A 3-year-old kid was surprised with a Disney trip.
It was a video I showed you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. That kid is not going to remember that trip to Disney. She's 3.
Well, I mean, the parents are just trying to be nice.
You know what the parents are doing?
What?
They're building a cynical, jaded millennial. That's what they're doing.
Let me ask you a question. Did you take your children to Disney?
Not when they were 3. No.
How old were they?
10, 12, 8, 3. I mean, where do you go after Disney World as a kid?
Well, you build up.
That's like going right to crack. That's just like right to smoke and crack. Disney is the pinnacle of a child's tourism experience. Thank you, Helen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, how are they going to top that? How are they going to top it? I don't know. That's why we have generation of millennials who are impressed by nothing.
Well, no, they're just soulless.
They're impressed soulless.
They're
Jesus
sort
Christ.
of soulless.
That's a little bit extreme. They're impressed by nothing. Nothing amuses them anymore.
Well, they've kind of gotten everything. So
anyway, wait to take your kids to Disneyland, will you? Will you wait till they're at least 7, 6, 7, for Christ's sake?
This coming from a man who's taken his kids to Hawaii.
Yeah, when they were 18 and 20.
But still, that should be something your kids kind of go on their own. I mean, I'm thinking to Gordon Ramsay, Gordon Ramsay says he has a truckload of money and he makes his kids fly coach.
I'm going to send you somewhere alone.
Listen.
Anyway.
You build your kids up for certain things.
I mean, you shoot that right out of the gate there and you're finished.
Hey, it's...
Coming up later in the show, by the way, the Preakness Stakes is being run today down in Maryland, and another great Helen story a little bit later on. But back to airports. Helen, answer me this question.
Yes.
Why do people take carry-on suitcases and then decide to check them at the gate?
Well, I think because, they are... the people at the gate kind of offer to take them, and maybe these people don't have... No, that's not it. No?
Make up your mind.
Oh.
I mean, if you're going to check your bag, check the bag.
Well, maybe they didn't want to check the bag initially.
But what would change...
It's their prerogative.
What would change in the 10-minute walk to their gate?
Maybe the bag was too heavy for them.
Anyway, it pisses me off.
A lot of things piss you off, but it's not the world according to CJ.
I don't like it one bit.
Too bad, so sad.
And I think it should be outlawed.
Okay.
Or at least there should be a hefty fine or some sort of extra charge.
Listen.
Because these people, they're going to carry it on, then all of a sudden they're going to...
And why does it bother you?
Here's why.
Does it trouble you?
Because the poor guy working on the jetway has to go get the bag from the jetway, take it down the steps, hump it over to the cargo hold in the plane and put it in the plane when it could have already been on the plane if they checked it properly in the first place, Helen.
Well,
don't you ever check a bag
paid for that
at a gate.
And if they take that away, that's someone's job.
Don't you ever.
Listen, I'm going to do what I want to do.
You check a bag at a gate and we're going.
And we're going where?
We're going.
Listen, don't forget your osteoporotic self. We can throw down all you want, Grampy.
You know what I think, Helen? I think there ought to be IQ testing at airports.
Like a license?
They would be a lot quieter and a lot less crowded if just a simple IQ test was administered to people.
To get into the airport?
Yeah.
Gee. What bugs me in airports is people don't respect your space.
No, they don't.
I personally like to have a bubble of space.
Now, see, you sound like me now.
No, I've always liked to have a bubble. If you ask anybody, I like to have a bubble of space.
Well, you don't like to have a bubble when you're smothering me with your goddamn good morning kisses.
Listen, you can give your husband a kiss
and your hello kiss and your goodbye kiss, and I'm back
am sure that there are men in this world that would not mind me giving them kisses.
There are.
You can take your crappy, crabbly self.
There are men who wouldn't mind. I am not one of these men.
Mm-hmm. So.
Big Mama.
Listen, you better just understand that if a girl kisses you good morning, especially a 13 years younger woman.
Jesus. Yeah, I guess. Okay, big thrill, right? Big treat for me. So you have personal space.
So personal space issues.
Yeah.
Why do people come and sit right next to you at the airport?
Well, honey, that brings up an interesting story.
If there are 17 other seats around you that are empty.
And that very thing happened to us twice in the Charlotte International Airport on the way back. We were at a gate, and there were 2, 3, 4 empty rows
Right.
of seats at the gate.
Right.
The first knucklehead came down and sat directly across from us. Do you remember that guy?
Right, and he had the little flip glasses.
He did, with the jean shorts.
Jean shorts and glasses/sunglasses.
And then, and then the next guy sat down right next to us.
Right, not even like, I mean, if you want to sit close to the gate, I get it. But like, you leave like a space between, I guess it's sort of like the toilet rule or the stall rule in the bathroom where you don't go directly next to that person. You go like a stall over. This was like directly next to us. Like, I wanted to turn over and say, hey, buddy, you want to sit in my lap?
You know, Helen, for the first time maybe in show history, you made a very good point there.
Yeah, which one?
The point about if you want to sit close to the gate,
you leave a chair.
It's a 1-chair space rule.
Exactly.
Preferably 2 chairs. I think the rule should be 2 chairs if there's no one else around. 2 chairs, you're still close to the gate.
Listen, I'm not asking for a lot. I'm just saying 1 chair, you know, that way we don't have to argue over an armrest.
That's
you know,
right.
You kind of sit over there. I don't have to smell you if you have BO. You can sit in your seat. I can sit in my seat. Everything is hunky-dory.
It's not good.
You don't violate my bubble of space. We're good.
You know what else, folks?
What?
If you're going to go to the airport, at least get dressed. I saw a dude, literally, no lie, I'm telling you, in his pajama bottoms and bedroom slippers. He got on an airplane dressed in pajama bottoms and bedroom slippers.
Listen, you don't have to dress like you're walking down a runway, but you pretty much, I mean, wear jeans and a t-shirt for God's sakes.
What you meant the fashion runway,
right?
Not the runway.
Right.
Anyway, the guy had pajamas on.
Well, maybe he was going to take a nap.
I mean, that's just lazy.
Yeah.
That's lazy. And, you know, I mean, I said this before, airports have become bus terminals now, Helen.
Well, airplanes are just big buses in the sky.
So anyway.
Did we tell them how excited you got, like a 3-year-old in the candy store looking into the cockpit?
Yes, Helen, I enjoy looking into occasional cockpit. So far today we've learned I like pina coladas,
pedicures,
and cockpits. Why are you even married to me, Helen?
I don't know.
I have 6 hours in toward my private pilot's license. Mm-hmm. I'm a bit of an air pilot aficionado. I don't think I'm ever going to get that license because I get violently ill doing stalls and other required maneuvers. But I did have 6 hours into my private pilot's license. Maybe someday, Helen, when I don't vomit,
right?
Maybe I'll continue on with that. But that's why I like a peek in a cockpit there.
Yeah, so you were pretty excited about that.
Just the word cockpit with the pina coladas and the
makes you a little uncomfortable
pedicures.
Today.
I don't even feel like me today.
Yeah, you're having a little bit of an out of body experience.
So let's get off the plane, Helen, and come home to where we are.
Oh, back to reality.
Back to reality.
Yeah.
We have, as you know, boys and girls, sold our house.
Yep.
We've purchased another house.
We have.
It is a slight downsize.
Yep.
And it's time to move on, including the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast Studios. Mm-hmm. We will still be broadcasting, of course.
We might take a week off in middle move or whatever,
but we're back for 2 weeks.
Up, yes.
But the process has started now. It looks like a bomb went off. You know what I've said to myself, Helen? Can I call you Helen?
Oh,
Embrace
God.
the chaos. Embrace the chaos. Embrace the chaos. Because
Let me ask you something. Other than going through your closet and pulling out the clothes that you no longer want, tell me something else that you've actually packed. Nothing.
No, I've brought some luggage upstairs.
Woohoo! Hallelujah, Hollywood.
I've watched you pack some books.
Yeah, I've packed some books. I've packed a bunch of other things, and you have packed nothing.
Yes, but I have gone through a closet's worth of clothes, Helen, including trying them on for you.
Darling, I've done that and done a bunch of other things. So let's not talk about how difficult this packing process has been for you.
The packing process, the moving process, creates a state of unsettling Entropy. Helen, do you know what the word entropy means? Helen, entropy is a lack of order or predictability, a gradual decline into disorder.
It is a state of unrest.
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much.
And what has ensued here at the Haddock homestead is entropy. There are boxes, there's wrapping, and then the shelves are getting bare, which is also weird. So it looks like someone's moving. And,
yes, us.
It's a pain. It's a pain in the ass. It sucks up many things. Time, money, sanity, Helen. Can I call you Helen?
There are 3 fingers hanging over the monitor. All I see is the top of your head and 3 fingers.
Time, money, sanity. That's what it sucks up.
Mm-hmm.
Moving sucks.
Yeah.
Moving sucks.
God, if I had $1 for every time you said something sucked, I would be able to.
Honey, it's my job on this show. I'm the Oscar the Grouch puppet, and you're the Big Bird puppet. I mean, that's what.
Dude, you just called me Big Bird.
Yeah, you're like happy, sunshiny, like always optimistic, that kind of bullshit.
At least call me Elmo. I don't want to be Big Bird.
Anyway, I'm the miserable guy, Oscar the Grouch, and that's my job. If I came on the air and said everything's great, people would say, "Who the hell is that?" Mm-hmm. So anyway, Helen, I think we got to pay some bills here, but on the other side of this, what'll no doubt be another great read by Helen. What do we got coming up, Helen?
We're going to talk about buying tickets to sporting events and concerts.
Oh, that's it. I meant what's coming up after you talk about.
Well, see,
you don't know, do you?
Cue very well. We talk about the Preakness.
Let me tell you what's coming up, Helen. McDonald's new menu.
Preakness.
Not talking about President Trump. The Preakness Stakes today.
Yes.
The Penguins.
Woohoo!
And our Stanley Cup playoff bracket challenge. You are kicking my ass.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
At any rate.
Thank you. Flyers.
All kinds of fun stuff coming up. But first, Helen, what do you got over there?
So I have this wonderful company. Buying tickets online for sporting events and concerts has always been a confusing process. It's been hard to find the best deals and for the shows and the games that you want to go to, and none of those older ticket sites want to change that. But along came SeatGeek. SeatGeek is different. They have this amazing app and website that makes it easier than ever for fans to buy and sell tickets. SeatGeek does all the price comparisons for you by searching multiple ticket sites and ensuring that you get all the best possible deals. And SeatGeek wants to help you get the most bang for your buck. That is why every ticket on SeatGeek is given a grade based on its value. You'll immediately see any underpriced seats and be able to get the best deals that fit your particular budget. Best of all, listeners get a $20 rebate off their first SeatGeek purchase. To get your $20 rebate on tickets, download the SeatGeek app. SeatGeek will send you $20 after your first purchase. Download the SeatGeek app today and enjoy whatever show or sporting event you want to go to.
That's SeatGeek. We're back in a second. Helen, honey, darling.
Yes, dear.
McDonald's has a new menu. They also have a new ad campaign, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the new menu.
Okay.
Some people, like myself, shouldn't wear a thong.
Okay.
McDonald's.
I'm worried about where this is going.
McDonald's should not try to be anything other than it is McDonald's. When I go to McDonald's, I want good old-fashioned American bad-for-me food.
You don't want avocado, mayonnaise,
Yeah, what's going
burgers.
on? They got this new menu. It includes chicken sandwiches, I think guacamole and honey Dijon and barbecue. That's not McDonald's, Helen.
Listen, they're trying to appeal to a wider audience. America is multi-ethnic.
Don't appeal to a wider audience.
And they are just trying to make everybody fat. Every ethnicity. They're trying to make them fatter.
Appeal to me.
Listen, they do appeal to you.
Appeal to me.
They do. They also, I stopped today to get a Diet Coke there today, and I was looking, and their frozen coffees are out of this world. Their mocha fraps are so good, and now they have a Rolo mocha frap, and it literally took every ounce of willpower because, listen, it was probably going to be out of this world delicious.
Helen, you know, you and I share a favorite sandwich at McDonald's. Do you know what that is, Helen?
Filet-O-Fish?
We always fantasize about filet-O-fish sandwiches.
With gooey tartar sauce?
Yep.
And lots of fries?
Lots of fries.
And because we don't want a lot of calories, Diet Coke.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Anyway, McDonald's. I mean, just be comfortable. Be you know, don't try to wear a thong.
You know, I think you're saying be comfortable with who you are. It kind of harkens back to the bikini stories. Be comfortable with who you are.
Yeah, right. And don't try to be something you're not.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, they're just trying to be sort of go across the board. It's just sort of like Arby's when Arby's was trying to sell gyro or, you know.
What?
They were trying to sell gyros or gyro, which is the proper way to
Greek
say
pronunciation,
it. Yeah, absolutely. You should say it correctly.
How do you say Arby's in Greek?
I don't know.
Arby's.
So, yeah, I mean, you just really have to...
Did you know in Athens, they do have an Arby's there you can actually get goat?
Listen, if you don't stop talking about goats...
Bam! Work the goat in again.
There's really...
Greek goat.
I swear to God.
The Greek goat jokes are a lot like the Where's Waldo of podcasts. I always try to get one in.
They're cheap and easy jokes, so try harder.
They are cheap and easy. But, goat at Arby's in Athens. If you're ever in Athens and you want some goat. Today is the Preakness Stakes.
Yes, a horse race.
How many times has the Preakness Stakes been run?
I don't know, but...
Well, look, I'll tell you how many times. Since 1873. They've been running this race since 1873. And this year, the race is the race is probably 10 minutes or so away. I don't know who's in the race. I know one of the horses is heavily favored.
And a spoiler alert. Do you want my spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen?
Is there still a Triple Crown hopeful, Helen? Is the race over?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, how are you going to spoil it if the race isn't over?
A horse is going to win.
Oh, you son of a bitch. That reminds me, Helen, of being at your home in Pittsburgh before our engagement and betrothal.
Yes.
When I was sitting comfortably on a couch in your house.
Right.
Watching the Preakness Stakes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And they're off. Mm-hmm. And the horses started, and it was a good race. I don't watch a lot of horse racing, but the Preakness Stakes, Triple Crown, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. And as the horses turned around the final quarter turn and headed down the home stretch, neck and frigging neck, what did you do, Helen? Tell our listeners what you did.
We had planned to go out, so I turned off the TV.
Yeah.
You kind of turned around. You're like, what? And
what
I said...
the hell?
I said, a horse is going to win.
Son of a bitch. True story. Never saw the end of that Preakness.
And so it's a joke now because every time he thinks that I'm sort of bossing him around or saying something, he'll act like he's pushing the TV button off and say some very choice words and say, oh, horse is going to win.
That begins with F and ends with U.
Uh-huh.
And I'll never forget or forgive you, Helen, for that insane. Why couldn't you wait like 15 seconds for the horse to cross the finish line?
Listen, dude, it was a horse.
Yeah, I know.
Was running.
I know a horse won. I don't know which horse won.
Was it really earth shattering? Was it going to change your life?
No,
well,
it wasn't.
Then.
But you know.
Yeah, I mean, come on now, seriously. You didn't mention anything about it being so super special.
Well, I mean, it is the Preakness Stakes.
Okay.
Helen, there is no way you can lose our NHL Stanley Cup Playoff Bracket Challenge.
Who is the bomb.com when it comes to hockey in this house?
You are currently ahead 4-3.
Boom!
I have no teams left.
Boom!
If the Penguins beat the Senators in the Eastern Final, you'll be 5. That'll be 5-3.
Boom!
And if the Penguins win the Stanley Cup, you will have won our bracket challenge by a total of 6-3. I have lost. Congratulations, honey. You know the game. I never thought I would run into somebody. A woman who knows more about hockey than I do.
Listen.
So you've won. It just remains to be seen by how much you've won. Congratulations to you. Remind me not to do that stupid thing next year.
Hey, listen. I mean, I'm not conceited about a lot of things, but when it comes to hockey, I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Now, sweetheart, your boys are currently locked in the Eastern Conference Final.
My boys are going to give me a stroke is what they're going to do.
2-2. You know, the other day you said to me, I don't have a good feeling about this series, CJ. What did you mean by that, Helen?
Well, they, as evidenced by not this past game, but the prior game, they were thumped 5-1.
Thumped.
They were. And if this wasn't a PG show, I would say something else. Mm-hmm. But they were thumped 5-1. They did win last night. They held on to win 3-2. But they really, really had slacked a bit. And the thing is that they're so depleted. So many players. It seems like every game somebody goes down. Ottawa's a feisty team, so which makes me nervous. And they're hungry.
Do you want me to jinx you on the air or
Please
off the
do
air?
not. And let me just tell you something. Marriage is supposed to be a commitment between two people where you support each other and you love each other.
Blah,
now,
blah, blah, blah.
you rotten human being.
What do you mean,
You
rotten?
sit there and you say, oh, they've got this. Oh, this, oh, that. And you do it on purpose.
No, I don't do it on purpose.
You try to jinx them.
I do
now,
a little bit on
if your
purpose.
Philadelphia Flyers, whom I despise,
You may not live to see it.
if they were as far as my Penguins are,
They may never be.
I would never, because I'd be like, all right, you might not like him, Helen, but this is his moment to shine.
You realize, honey, what I say about the Penguins has no impact about whether or not they're
The
going to win
hockey gods listen.
Let me just say, honey,
The hockey gods
that this
listen.
thing is in the bag for you boys.
Oh, my God,
It is in the
kill you.
bag.
I hope you enjoyed the couch tonight.
It is in the bag.
You keep going on. I hope you're going to enjoy the couch at the new house,
Are
too.
you going to see the parade in Pittsburgh?
I'm going to hurt you.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to hurt you.
I just want it recorded so that at least once.
I'm going to change your Metamucil to X-Lax.
Anyway, good luck, honey. You know, one thing I have said before, I think, is that you have ruined. There used to be nothing quite like a Penguins loss for me. And you've ruined that for me, honey, because I'm married to you now, and I see how despondent it makes you, and that makes me unhappy. So now when the Penguins lose, I don't feel good anymore.
That's good, because I feel the same way about the Flyers.
You've taken it away from me, honey.
I mean, I've kind of sort of transposed that to watching Washington lose, which, by the way, can we talk about that for a second? Because Ovechkin,
Oh, here we go.
still no cup.
Here we go. Poor
That's all I have
Alex
to say.
Ovechkin. Poor guy.
Still no cup.
You know, that is the strangest thing down there in Washington. I don't. They win the President's Trophy every.
It's the curse.
It is a curse.
Because they peak too early in the season every year. They peak too early,
Yeah.
and then what happens is, they come along, and unfortunately, they face Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And we talked about the way the playoffs are formatted, that they shouldn't have met that early in the playoffs, but they did.
I mean, they met second round last year, too.
Yeah.
So, hey, all I know is my boys are in the Eastern Conference Finals, and it's a hard-fought thing, and, proud of them for getting this far with as many injuries as we've had. So,
Well, good
let's
luck.
go Pens.
Good luck. Helen, since you don't prepare for the show and I do, it's time for a surprise game.
Oh.
Are you ready, kid?
Sure.
This is going to be real or fake.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 4 things. Your job is to tell me whether they're real or fake.
Okay.
We will keep track. If you do not sufficiently score well, I will ridicule you openly.
All right.
All right? You ready?
All right, weirdo.
All right. Item 1, Helen. Mm-hmm. In 1987, Richard Nixon wrote Donald Trump a letter after Mrs. Nixon saw Trump on the Donahue Show, telling him he would win office if he ran. Is that real or fake?
I think that's real.
You are correct, Helen.
That's
Correct, kid.
Thank you.
That is actually real. I saw a copy of the letter yesterday. This, by the way,
Insane.
I think this quiz is taken from BuzzFeed. Yeah, that is insane. A letter from Nixon in 87 to Trump when Trump was on Donahue. Crazy.
Well, I think that he's going to find the same fate. Just saying.
Maybe. All right, Helen, question number 2. You ready?
Yes, dear.
Real or fake, Helen?
Okay.
A man was arrested last week for drunk driving in the parking lot of the New York State Police Academy. Real or fake?
Real.
Damn. You're 2 for 2. That is real. That actually happened. The guy also got out afterwards and passed out on the grass.
That's just wonderful.
If you're going to get drunk and drive and pass out, the New York State Police Academy is probably not the best place to do it.
I mean, really, what is wrong with people?
Oh, gosh. God love them. All right, Helen, you ready for question 3?
Yeah.
Thousands of dead people are registered to vote in North Carolina. Real or fake?
That's real.
Sorry, honey. That is a fake story. Thousands of dead people are not registered to vote in North Carolina. That was falsely reported, and apparently it is not true. Question 4. You are 2 for 3 right now, Helen. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
This next one's going to make or break, and it is the final question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
There's a picture on the internet of Donald Trump swinging a golf club in a white shirt, and he has an extremely large belly.
Okay.
Is that photograph fake or real?
It's real. He has a big belly.
This is probably an unfair question.
That is an unfair question because he looks like he has a big belly in both pictures.
Yeah, there is one that's photoshopped.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Well, this one, I'm going to give you half a point for that because it is an unfair question. So we'll say you were 2.5 out of 4, which is pretty good. I won't ridicule you because that question was a little bit unfair. I should have showed you the picture, which really doesn't translate very well for a podcast, does it?
No, it
That's
doesn't.
kind of stupid, isn't it?
So you prepared falsely.
Yeah.
So you suck at preparing.
That was bad on me. That's bad on me, Helen.
There you go.
That one's for me.
That's for you.
That one's for me.
Mm-hmm. There you
I
go.
screwed that up. Anyway, there is a picture. The picture I'm talking about, his gut is kind of huge, and he has gained a little bit of weight, but
he's gained a lot more color. He's a little more Cheeto-y.
Yeah, he's different. His hair looks gray, but that I get. I mean, I understand that. Mm-hmm. But we can't talk about Trump.
Trumpcation.
We are on a Trumpcation this week.
Trump siesta.
Last item here, Helen. I'm going to read this to you because you and I could identify with this, kind of.
Okay.
The Associated Press this week reported a man sued a lady for $17.31 for a movie ticket after a bad date.
Oh, boy.
Helen in Round Rock, Texas. A Texas man sued a woman he went on a date with for the price of a movie ticket after he says she texted through the film and left him at the theater.
Maybe he was a bad date.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Helen. This guy filed a claim. His name is Brendan Vesmar. Filed a claim for $17.31.
Now, this joker, did it probably cost him more to file the claim?
You know what? There's no question it cost him more to file a claim. I mean, to file a small claims court claim is at least $75 or $100.
That's stupid.
Okay, because they want to discourage silliness like this. Anyway, he filed a suit. He took this woman on. He met her online and took her to see Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, first of all, that's your first mistake. So
yeah, I was going to say that. And she was 35 years old, and she didn't stop texting. He got so pissed off, he said, "Why don't you go outside and text?" And she did, but the only thing is she never came back.
Well, maybe that's the reason why.
Now her side.
You took her to see Guardians of the Galaxy, and then you told her to go outside. First of all, in defense of him, texting in the movie theater is wrong.
Yeah.
But he must have been pretty crappy for her to continue to text her.
Probably wasn't a great date.
Right.
Probably wasn't a great date. But
and a first date at the movies is always bad because you can't talk.
Yeah, but that takes the pressure off, though, doesn't it?
No, because you're sitting in a dark space.
Yeah.
Next to someone you barely know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, has that you ever gone on a first date to the movies?
I always said no.
I've had 0 dates, so I can't say I identify with it.
I always said no to go to the first dates to the movie theater.
Well, you're tough. God, you're tough.
Listen, just because I know what I want doesn't make me tough.
Ah, damn, dude.
Hey.
Anyway.
You married me.
The case hasn't been decided yet, but good luck to both parties. I don't know. I guess.
How would you rule, Judge?
Honestly, he's not entitled to the $17.31 back. There's no guarantee of a good date, and if you know anything about women, you know the odds are against any date being good because women are vicious, ruthless, disagreeable human beings.
And men are aloof, stagnant, and without reproach. So, and hold on a second.
Oh, no.
$17?
Hold on a second.
What is he buying, like popcorn and stuff too? Or did he splurge and take her to the 3D version?
I don't know. $17.31 is an odd number, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, would you take her to the 3D version of something?
Oh, it just says for the price of a movie ticket, so...
That's a lot of money for a movie ticket.
Maybe he sued for his ticket too. And tax, I don't know.
That would be awful.
I don't know. Anyway, that little story there is a microcosm of what it is like for men and women to try to live together.
Whatever happened to chivalry?
I don't know.
It's gone.
Honey Boo Boo, chivalry is not gone.
It's dead.
I'm going to open the door for you
To exit the room?
as you leave the Pain and Anger Comedy Podcast studios this
That's
week.
only because you like the view as I walk away.
Jesus. Thanks again, everybody, for listening. Kindly reach out to us and send us an email with questions. You may get them read on the air. painangercomedy@gmail.com.
You can ask us for advice, too. I'd be happy to answer advice questions.
We're
That would
happy.
be great.
We are only too happy to tell other people how to live their lives as we struggle to find out how the hell we live our own.
If you want to help us move, let us know.
Yes, anybody who wants to help us move, send an email to painangercomedy@gmail.com. We're available on iTunes, as I told you earlier. You can go there and download episodes. Subscribe to us there. What do I always ask? Subscribe.
Pimp us out to your friends.
Rate us, write a review. And you can also catch us on SoundCloud and now YouTube, and also the old standby, the website itself, painangercomedy.wordpress.com. That's it for this week. We will be back in a few days.
What a fun show.
In the meantime, I have to go watch Helen pack some more boxes.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Make
everybody.
me a pina colada, boy.
Stay angry.
Stay funny.
We'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for listening.
Take care. Let's go, Pens.
And we are also on SoundCloud and, of course, YouTube.
What?
We're on SoundCloud now. Was that a dog?
It's always a dog.
Bitch.
It's the background noise.
If you don't shut up over there, I can't read the spot.
Well, it's still
Okay.
rattling.
Whoa. Just let it go. Just be entertained by the rattling. I'll get back to you in a minute.
You're a
Like a 2-year-old.
You're a
You know?
You're a
Oh, man. Now. Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, that was a really good segue. There you go.
Addition there.
You just totally segued that wonderfully.
And all right, hold on.
So
Okay,
funny.
we're not using the word poop on the podcast.
Poop is a perfectly acceptable joke.
So why don't we go back to where I set you up?
You're dad.
Yeah.
You want to fix your computer so it doesn't do that on the air?
Yeah, you can. I'm a big
You're a big. Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do I put that on the gag reel? I don't even know. I don't even know how to edit that. I said Helen.
You said this to yourself,
To
and now
myself.
you're saying Helen.
I said this, Helen. I said Helen. I said self. Helen.
What?
I said to myself, Helen. I said to myself, comma, Helen, comma.
Hurry up with the dinger. That's a low dinger.
That's a low dinger. Let me just fade.
I want a high dinger.
Oh, God, that's not going anywhere.
I want a high dinger.
Okay, Helen wants a high dinger, everybody. All of a sudden, things got very loud in my ears. I'm not sure why. Hello, check.
Did the wax move?
I don't know. Jesus Christ.
Oh, poop.
You said poop again.
I did say poop. Would you prefer I say